Welcome to the Luke Woolems Show. Find out all about Northeast DuBois G baseball straight from the coach's mouth. This week's show is sponsored by Milligan Communications. The Luke Woolems Show is brought to you by the Southwestern Indiana Sports Network, powered by Milligan Brosmer Communications. Wanting to scan those old videos, films, or audio to DVD? We'll look no further than Milligan Communications. We can also scan your old pictures, slides, and negatives to picture quality as well. With thousands of happy customers, let Milligan Communications help put your treasured memories on a digital media. Call Milligan Communications today at 812-630-2449. Milligan Communications, capturing your yesterdays.
You dream it, we create it at Street Dreams. Custom paint, fabrication, stereos, wheels, tires, and more. We're also your authorized Sinister Sound dealer. Street Dreams, 317-624-1000, where you expect quality and...
At MAD, we believe in zero. Zero fathers who aren't there for bedtime. Zero mothers who miss the first day of school. Zero children who never come home. We believe in zero victims of drunk driving. With MAD, your support adds up to zero. Because we believe in a hug on the first day of school. We believe in another bedtime story. We believe in no more victims. We believe in zero.
And welcome to this week's Luke Woolems Show. And Coach, last week you played at Bar Eve, home against Wood Memorial, and then last night you played at home against Orleans. Why don't you recap those games for us?
Okay, well, last week started out against Bar Eve, conference opponent. We went up to Montgomery. Good ball game. We had a Ty Cobb on the mound. He gave up a home run in the second inning. It was a 3-run shot. So we got down early, 3-0. And both teams just kind of felt their way through the rest of that game until the 6th inning. And we got 3 runs in the top of the 6th to tie the game. They get 2 runs in the bottom of the 6th to take a 5-3 lead. And we had runners on first and third with 1 out in the 7th. And I gave Aiden Dodd the steal sign, and he got thrown out stealing second. And we kind of lost all momentum right there. And then I think we get a ground ball into an out right after that. And that's the ball game. But in that particular spot, and that was kind of the key moment in the game, I would do the same thing again 100 out of 100 times. Aiden's our best. He's a good base runner. Kid just made a great throw. Catcher made a great throw to second, and it was what it was. But you certainly, it's the good thing about baseball. I heard Louisville's coach say this weekend. Thank God it's not football. We don't have to wait around a week before we play again. We can get back out there the next day or the day after. And so that's what we did after the Bar Eve game. Got back on the horse Thursday against Wood Memorial. Grant Maringer back on the mound after his last outing was at Forest Park, and they hung quite a few runs on us. So it was good to get Grant back on the mound a week later. He pitched a pretty good game. Wood Memorial hit the ball well. Grant worked out of some jams throughout the game, and we scratched out 6 runs, just very methodical, scratched out 6 runs, and beat Wood Memorial 6-2. Sometimes I think maybe you get to looking at scores and your guys, think ahead or think maybe we've got this one in the bag, based on some of the scores Wood Memorial had posted, but they were certainly a better opponent than what I think some of their scores had shown. And, of course, it didn't. They had just won their first game a couple days before that, I think against Union Duggar, and so maybe they had a little momentum as well. But certainly a little more athletic than typical Wood Memorial teams, and pitchers threw strikes and kept them in the ball game. They played defense. They made plays. When they do that, the 6-2 ball game, you're glad to get out of there with a win, and we're certainly going to celebrate that as well.
And then last night, you took on Orleans. You came out a 20-0 victor in 17 hits, 20 runs. You got to love that as a coach. And why don't you recap that game for us as well?
All right. Well, Aiden Dodd got his first start for us last night. Aiden he's a great competitor. He's got a nice fastball and he's got a little bit of a spinner, and but having him on the mound, our kids just had a little bit different fire about him last night. I was excited to see that, and I really think we just kind of got behind him and rallied behind him. So he has a good first inning, gets in a little bit of jam, runners first and second. Actually think we ended up with runners on second, third, and Aiden goes strikeout, fielder's choice, strikeout to get out of that inning. So that was big, and then we come out in the bottom of the first and get a grand slam from Rockney Leakin, his first career home run in his first year playing baseball at the high school level. Rockney's been an awesome addition to the team, playing left field for us, and he's just been super solid. In the outfield and at the plate, he's got good hands, and boy can hit. So he's been exciting. But he puts us up 5-0 in the first inning. We don't score in the second, and we score 5 more in the third. Again, just methodical, but we're hitting the ball, and that's exciting. We had multi-hit games from Aiden Sheets. Rockney went 4 for 4. Ty Cobb went 2 for 4. Gage Shepard's 2 for 4, and Clay Foreman was 2 for 4 as part of our 17 hits in the game. All 9 starters had a hit. So we've got a 10-0 lead going into the bottom of the fourth, and got 2 runners on right away. Grant Maringer gets a bunt down to move those runners over to second and third. It's a good sacrifice bunt. At this point, you're just thinking if we can get a couple of insurance runs here, go out, get 3 outs, this ball game's over. And I think at that point we're very respectful of Orleans, and we had certainly been in a game already this season where we had a 9-0 lead and ended up winning the ball game 14-13. So a lot of people say, well, when do you take your foot off the gas? And I don't think we ever take our foot off the gas, but we were certainly playing for 1 or 2 runs there in that fourth inning to, set us up to go in and get 3 outs in the fifth and get out of there with a run rule 5th inning and the ball game be over. At least that was my thinking. So Grant gets down a bunt, moves runners over to second and third. We end up driving those 2 runs in and plating another one, and then we start pinch hitting. And we're pinch hitting all of our JV kids. And the only guy I didn't pinch hit for was when Grant came back up again. And then he ends up hitting a grand slam with bases loaded there. So the score got out of hand kind of quick, and you don't want to embarrass anybody, but at the same time you're just playing the game, and you're not going to send any kid up there to the plate that doesn't want to get a hit. That's just the way the game's played. But we did get almost every single one of our kids to the plate. I think there were a couple that didn't get the hit last night, but got a lot of kids in, and got a good win against a team that I have a lot of respect for in Orleans. So that's where we're at right now, and we'll talk about the rest of the week in a minute.
And I've coached baseball before, and the one thing that was always hard is when you do have a big lead, you don't want kids to you don't want kids on base, but most of those kids that are at that point, don't get to play that much, and they want hits, and it's great to see, but at the same time, it's kind of hard.
Yeah, it's hard, and we quit running base, we quit stealing, very early, actually, before that fourth inning even started. So there's only so much you can do as a coach, but like I said, we got all our guys in, and you're right, they're going to want to go up there and hit, and we did get a couple hits from a couple of guys that don't play a lot of varsity, but that's good for them too.
And I was following along on Game Tracker, or Game Changer, and chart, and the thing it was, every time I looked, you had more runs, and the name that kept popping up was Rocky Leakin, and I'll tell you what, 4 hits on 4 at bats, 3 runs scored, 6 RBIs, a home run, a double. I mean, Daddy Chad's got to be awfully proud today.
I'm sure he is. I know his mom was in the stands, and she was pretty excited for him. And like I said, just so glad he's come out for baseball, and we like having him around, and I think it's good for him as well.
We're back on the Luke Woolems Show. Right, these messages from our sponsors. You're listening to the Southwest Indiana Sports Network, powered by Milligan Bros for Communications.
This is your IHSAA. This is your state. This is your high school. This is your athletic association.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and we're here to make sure that all of this remains yours.
This is your state. This is your community. This is your IHSAA.
Hey everyone, Joey Chestnut here, world champion competitive eater. I follow Southwest Indiana Sports Network, and if you're hungry for sports, you should follow them too.
Follow the Southwest Indiana Sports Network at swisportsnetwork.com or search Roku for our channel at SW Indiana Sports Network.
You dream it, we create it at Street Dreams. Custom paint, fabrication, stereos, wheels, tires, and more. We're also your authorized Sinister Sound dealer. Street Dreams, 317-624-1000, where you expect quality and...
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Wanting to scan those old videos, films, or audio to DVD? We'll look no further than Milligan Communications. We can also scan your old pictures, slides, and negatives to picture quality as well. With thousands of happy customers, let Milligan Communications help put your treasured memories on a digital media. Call Milligan Communications today at 812-630-2449. Milligan Communications, capturing your yesterdays.
Hello and welcome back to the Luke Woolems Show, and we're joined by the president of the Northeast DuBois Youth Baseball, Jason Hagan. Jason, how you doing today?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
Good. And I know there's some changes happening with youth baseball, and why don't you go over that for us?
Yeah, we've really this year our board had decided to kind of reorganize our leagues and kind of get them age group appropriate and kind of follow what some others here in the area are doing, just to make sure we're putting the most competitive team and like age group teams on on the field. So we've really kind of adapted our league around that, along with making modifications to our field and moving the pitching mound based on age group and the bases. So, this year we'll be at 60-foot bases on kind of our coach pitch age group, and then our minor league, kind of the middle age group there, our 9s and 10-year-olds. Those bases will go back to 65 feet. And then our oldest group, the 11s and 12s, they'll actually be on 70-foot base paths. So, in the past, we've always played every league at 60 feet. So, really just getting that infield a little bit bigger, and helping those boys make the easier adjustment when they step up to the next age group and into our junior high program.
And I told Coach Woolems, having a strong youth program is only going to help have a strong high school program.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we have 140 boys in our league this year. So we got great numbers. We have strong numbers in our younger age groups, which is great. We're capturing a lot of those young athletes and getting them interested in baseball and fundamentals, and so it's great.
And I know in my days coaching Little League baseball, Little League there always seemed like it wasn't grade appropriate, so like there'd be some older kids playing or some younger kids playing, and I guess with your own league you're able to arrange that so it's grade appropriate.
Yeah, that's correct. It really gives us the flexibility to be able to, group, our ages together, that best suits our needs, and along with, being competitive and putting, like age groups on the field, and everything's kind of went to a travel type structure, and, there's travel tournaments every weekend and all of that. And those tournaments are really designed where they're following the age cutoffs of, a Cal Ripken League or, USSSA type format. And we've really modeled our age groups based on, those playing ages.
Well, Jason, good luck. And if there's anything we can do for you, just don't bother asking.
Well, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
You're listening to the Luke Woolems Show on Southwest Indiana Sports Network, powered by Million Bucks for Communications. We'll get back to the messages from our sponsors.
This is your IHSAA. This is your state. This is your high school. This is your athletic association.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and we're here to make sure that all of this remains yours.
This is your state. This is your community. This is your IHSAA.
Want to know what I like best about playing basketball for my high school? I like it because it's a place where my friends get to see me play. I like it because I'm playing for someone besides myself. I'm playing for everybody in my school and every person in my community.
Indiana high school sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
Wanting to scan those old videos, films, or audio to DVD? We'll look no further than Milligan Communications. We can also scan your old pictures, slides, and negatives to picture quality as well. With thousands of happy customers, let Milligan Communications help put your treasured memories on a digital media. Call Milligan Communications today at 812-630-2449. Milligan Communications, capturing your yesterdays.
You dream it, we create it at Street Dreams. Custom paint, fabrication, stereos, wheels, tires, and more. We're also your authorized Sinister Sound dealer. Street Dreams, 317-624-1000, where you expect quality and...
Welcome back to the Sports Show. Coach, I'll tell you what, to have someone like Jason Hagan running your youth programs is great, and I'm sure that's going to bode well for the Northeast Du Bois Jeeps in the future.
Jason does a fantastic job. He works as hard as anybody I know, not just for Little League, but he's also a big contributor in the community and on the Du Bois Ruritan Club. But what he's done for Little League has been outstanding. He's leading us through a transition. We've we're actually moving out of Little League and into just playing independent baseball, which is going to be really good for us. It's going to help us align our Little League with the right age group we feel our kids should be playing. So that's exciting. There's been major changes to our field and to our facilities, and Jason's done a lot of the carpentry work in and around our concession stand, press box area. He's been an all-star for us in our Little League program.
And this week tonight you've got South Knox at South Knox, and Saturday you got Mitchell at Mitchell. Why don't you preview those games for us?
Okay, well, this is going to be a good week for us. The hotter the fire, the harder the steel, right? So South Knox is 11-1 conference opponent, so I'm sure we'll see their number one tonight. We're going to go down there and try to be a thorn in their side and see what we can do. And it's a team that the record's really solid. They've got some really good wins, but it's time for us to start thinking. We've got to be at that level too, especially if we're going to get ready for the tournament. So tonight's a big night, and we kind of talked to the team last night about how Monday and Tuesday this week really set us up for the tournament. It's a very similar type of week to what the tournament would look like. Even though both of those games might be on Memorial Day, just last night's opponent and this night's opponent could very easily be the same scenario or a similar scenario as what the tournament was going to be. So that's kind of how we framed it for them. Then on Saturday, we go up and play on the new turf at Mitchell. And Mitchell's 11-2. Got a really good player up there, Ben Seitzinger. Not sure what to expect in that game, and other than that, we know they're good. They beat Linton earlier in the season. They have some really good wins on their resume, and we'll have to get past all of we've never played on turf and this and that, to get ready, to have a chance in that game. But I expect us to go up there and compete. Haven't decided yet who's going to throw in that game, and a lot of it could depend on what happens tonight. We could very easily go back to Dodd on Saturday, or we could go a completely different direction. So haven't made a decision on that yet, but will in the next day or so.
Well, Coach, good luck this week.
All right, thanks, Joe. Appreciate it.
You've been listening to the Luke Woolems Show on the Southwest Indiana Sports Network, powered by Million Bros for Communications. We'll see you next week.
At MAD, we believe in zero. Zero fathers who aren't there for bedtime. Zero mothers who miss the first day of school. Zero children who never come home. We believe in zero victims of drunk driving. With MAD, your support adds up to zero. Because we believe in a hug on the first day of school. We believe in another bedtime story. We believe in no more victims. We believe in zero.
The Luke Woolems Show is brought to you by the Southwestern Indiana Sports Network, powered by Milligan Brosmer Communications.
Becoming a licensed sports official is a great way to make a positive difference in the community and support the over 160,000 Indiana student athletes that participate across 22 IHSAA sports. Sports officiating allows you to stay connected to the game, become a role model for our young student athletes, earn extra money, and support the patrons and communities of our IHSAA member schools. To learn more about becoming a licensed IHSAA official, log on to ihsaa.org/officials today.